Yeah, so 2K, this year they're kind of doing a little bit different. People love 2K ratings because one, everybody just loves rankings in general because then it just has all this debate.
It assigns a number to a player, which
Exactly.
personally we never want to be a number. Like, don't dehumanize me and give me a number. But then for everyone else, we're like, let's give them a number.
But players
right?
care about this. Like, you can't
players
ignore
care
this.
about it too.
Players care about their Madden rating in NFL. They care about their 2K rating. Like, players talk about this. So you'll see players tweet out about it. Like, players care. So that's why I know there's probably a portion of you listening, watching on YouTube, whatever, saying, I don't give a crap about 2K ratings. Well, we cover it because it's kind of cool because it allows us talking points of, is this true? Like, are we going to see...
This podcast is covering the whole gambit. We got actual rumors and news with Kristi, Tolliver, and the coaching staff. We have the 2K rankings. And in the third segment, we'll get to the NBA executive survey, which is like what real basketball people think. So we're covering the whole gambit today.
Exactly. So 2K,
something for everybody.
One of the things they've been doing that's pretty cool with 2K ratings is they've been allowing the national teams to like tweet out their rosters with ratings, which has been really cool. Like France's national team and Australia, so that's been cool. We've seen a screenshot of Maxi, in Germany tweeted out theirs, so that was cool. But they did shooters, they did playmaking, but they did the top 10 ratings in the NBA. So for 2K, this gives you some type of bar to look at of who the top 10 players are in the league. And then we can look at it and say, do we agree? And on top of that, not just top 10 players, but in a way they kind of tiered them off. So they didn't do anybody 97 or above as far as rating wise. The top 4 players in the league, according to 2K, LeBron, Kevin Durant, Giannis, and Steph. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 at a 96 overall. So that kind of naturally puts them in a tier by themselves. Then there's a spot 5 and 6 and 7 go to Kawhi, Jokic, and Embiid at 95 overall. And then rounding out the top 10 is Luka at 8, and then James Harden at 9, Damian Lillard at 10. All three of those guys at 94 overall. So is there anyone that's underrated in this category? I've seen some people today like, hey, why isn't Jokic in the 96 category? Because he's an MVP. He won it last year. Why?
An MVP doesn't make you the best player in the NBA. We've established this. Yes. Russell Westbrook was not the best player in the NBA when he won MVP. That doesn't make you just the best player.
I agree.
That means you had the best season. So whoever's saying that, I don't agree.
And we can save the Durant, Giannis, LeBron conversation for the third segment because that was with the ESPN stuff. But,
but there is a conversation, though. Should Steph be up there with them? Because I think 2K, you have to think about, okay, they factor in everything. They factor in offense, defense, athleticism, IQ. They factor in all those different things. And so should Steph be up there with guys like LeBron, Durant, and Giannis, who also bring it on the defensive end way more than Steph does?
Yeah, that's my only thing of I understand why LeBron, KD, Giannis is over Luka. I just think Luka should have been at least – I think Luka should have been in that next tier. I think Luka should have been on the 95 overall tier with Kawhi, Jokic, and Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
And I think he's a step up above Damian Lillard and James Harden right now.
They actually said, and they came out with a press release, like a full press release, very official, that said the reason why we're taking Luka from a 95 to a 94 is because he cries and whines all the time. That's the reason why, completely.
Incredible.
His free throws. How dare he miss
it's his free throw rating. That's what has.
No, I'm joking. That was not true.
Stamina rating, is that very high?
I mean, that's part of it though. Your stamina is part of it. But
is there anyone not in this top 10 that you're like, oh, I'm kind of surprised? Like the first thing that popped up to me is like Anthony Davis not being there.
That one's interesting.
Anthony Davis, Brad Beal. Wow, I'm trying to look for Trae Young. Trae Young's not on there.
Trae Young is not on there. Well, you start looking at, like I tweeted out today, I was just looking at the NBA players as far as stars in their age bracket, because there's just so many stars across the list. Like Zion, you're not surprised. Trae Young, Ja Morant, Tatum, Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Karl Anthony Towns, Zach LaVine, Randall. AD is probably the best player we didn't mention. Kyrie. Paul George, Jimmy Butler, neither of those guys made this list.
Butler, yeah,
those are interesting ones, but kind of had down years for them. And then Chris Paul, maybe.
Yeah, which they're probably most of those dudes are probably 93s on this list, but
yeah,
I just think we casually throw out so much of all that players top 10. Like Luka top 10 player, Luka top 5 player, Luka whatever it is. And I think when you see a list like this, you kind of see all the names together and you're like, all right, well, when you throw out, oh, Jimmy Butler, he's top 10 player in the league, or Anthony Davis, top 10 player. It's like, all right, well, which of these names are you taking off for Anthony Davis? And so when you say Luka Doncic is a top 5 player in the league, is it safer to say he's a top 8 player in the league whenever you look at this and be like, all right, of the 7 guys above Luka on this list, who's the one guy, if all of them are fully healthy, who's the one guy that you would take Luka over for sure, hands down?
Embiid. And for me, Jokic.
When fully healthy?
Yeah.
Because, see, I think there's an argument for Embiid because of his defense.
Yeah, but if you're starting a team and that's that's your one guy, right? If that's your one guy, I would much rather build around Luka than I would around those other 2.
Okay, yeah. If I'm building a team, yes, I would do that. But as far as like Steph, I think there's an argument for like Luka.
What's the other way you would do that?
I was saying like best overall player like right now.
Yeah.
Like just for this one season, starting this season, who is the one player on the list above Luka that you're like,
and so you should look at them in a vacuum. You shouldn't look at them based on, okay, well, Embiid has Simmons, so his job defensively is a little bit easier than it would have been, and Jokic has the shooting around or whatever. Like you can't look at it. Yeah. Luka's taking less and making more out of it than the rest of those guys, I think.
It's just wild too when you look at this list and say, okay, how many players on this list is 25 and below?
Yeah, and Luka.
It's Luka. Giannis is over 25 at this point, or he is 25.
Yeah, no, Giannis is. I just did this list today. The 26-year-olds: Giannis, Jokic, Embiid is 27, AD is 28, Kawhi is 30, Lillard is 30, Curry, Durant, Harden, and Westbrook are all around 32.
So it's just Luka,
and LeBron is 36. So it's just Luka that's under the age of 26.
Of 26, I mean, Luka is not even close to 26. 22. So I think it's just a reminder of, once again, which we're on a Mavericks podcast, so you don't have to, people don't forget this. It's just a reminder of how
we should have a bias alert drop.
Well, it's just a reminder of how good Luka is at such a young age that, I mean, if you would have told yourself, 3 years ago that when Luka came in the league, you're like, oh, after his 3rd season, he's going to have, the 8th best rating in 2K, and he's going to be on the cover of 2K, literally the cover of it, and the signature athlete for 2K in 2022, and he's going to have a higher rating than James Harden and Damian Lillard and Anthony Davis. There's a large amount of people that probably be like, man, I don't know, what's Alonzo Trier's rating? I don't know. So that's the part about it that you have to shake your head and be like, it's crazy that Luka's this good already.